when I met Phil for the first time. And I said, Phil, I want to build a building that I can operate and maintain. And I spent, which I usually did with most of my builders, I spent them educating on day 2. What happens after the ribbon cutting ceremony? What happens after you hand me the keys and I take over this project? I want to make sure that I'm able to operate and maintain this properly. And again, I keep going back to the healing environment of our patients. That's what's most important to me. I need to operate that building for the next 100 years. If I won't be able to maintain it, then I won't be able to provide that healing environment. The same day 2 values that Dick keeps talking about in terms of operability, energy savings, optimizing energy, reducing our carbon footprint is very important to us because, as everyone knows, the cost of healthcare is going up. It was primarily for our BMS or building management system. And the bids were all over the place, anywhere from 5 million to 30 something million. So we asked if they could assist us. They were able to compare control points lists, working with our design engineer and come up with a master list. And then we utilize that master list to determine what the cost would be. And at that point, I believe everyone, the 4 different vendors, came in and they were in the $8 million range. We leveled them out in the $8 million range. And then after that, we negotiated and the savings was $1.2, $1.3 million. So after that, we'd expanded into more of supply chain issues and delivery issues and more negotiations of whether it was our chiller plant, BMS, or cogeneration plant, where additional savings were recognized. I have utiliVisor keep tabs on what our savings are up to date. And as of today, and that report goes up to our CEO. And to date, with the multiple projects that they've been involved with, the savings, there's been a cost avoidance of about $5.2 million. Eventually, getting back to the point list that you keep referring to, eventually to the patient. And the patients have to have that healing environment. And if we can't control the temperature and humidity in the ORs or in the patient rooms, there is not a good healing environment. So without the points list, without getting the right algorithms or the right loops, and without being installed and commissioned correctly, those patients will not have their healing environment be at an optimal level. I'm thinking about every problem we've had. Now it's trivial, right? It's trivial right now, but at the time it was gloom and doom. But I can remember every one of those issues and problems or dilemmas that we sat around the table and were able to collaboratively come up with a solution. And 100% of the time it's solved.
Our biggest challenge that we overcame was the primary switchgear. We were shocked when we heard originally that the schedule for the delivery of the gear expanded to an additional 6-8 months, which really created a hardship to make decisions about what to do. And we averted it by being nimble. With utiliVisor's help, we were able to maneuver and expedite to the fullest extent possible the delivery of the gear. We didn't want to spend a lot of overtime and we didn't want to spend a lot of money, over $2-3 million in temporary electric. Because of Valley's leadership, we didn't spend that money and we've avoided that cost. And now here we are on the cusp of still delivering the hospital on time. That alone was our biggest challenge.